Have you ever wondered, where do great directors like Scorsese or Tarantino get their inspiration? If I had to guess, I'd say for a piece of that inspirational pie, look no further than 1959's Some Like It Hot. What's going on, guys? It's Kirk from LaneFlix Media. I'm doing another request today. We're doing a request for NoobGamer family that asked me to do Some Like It Hot on my Demon Knight review. I just want to say thank you to NoobGamer family for being super patient with me, because I got COVID and then my car blew up, so I've had a bunch of just crazy crap happen to me at the end of this year. Everything's taken a little bit longer than I thought, but I'm okay now. I don't have a car yet. I'm still working on getting a car, which is like a super losery thing to say, but I'm working on it. So, but thank you. And on Instagram, your name is the Scouse Collector. But either way, thank you so much for being patient with me and requesting me to do a movie. So today we're going to be doing Some Like It Hot from 1959. It's a crime drama comedy film directed by Billy Wilder and co-written by Wilder and I.A.L. Diamond and Robert Theron. Stars Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, Marilyn Monroe, George Raft, and Pat O'Brien. So, we open in 1929 Chicago. Joe and Jerry are our two protagonists. They're struggling musicians that work in an old restaurant / bar, playing jazz sax and double bass respectively. It's kind of a common thing to have in older movies, a couple struggling musician types. That was not a big thing, but that was a pretty common character device. The bar the two buddies work in is owned by a mobster named Spats Colombo. The police, tipped off by Toothpick Charlie, one of Spats' goons, raid the bottom floor / parking garage of the place. The two friends escape, but they later witness Spats' retribution he delivers to Toothpick and his own men. And this scene's actually super interesting. Right off the bat, we get a true-to-life inspired scene. Yeah, February 14th, 1929, on Valentine's Day. This was called the Valentine's Day Massacre. This is from the Encyclopedia of Chicago. Posing as police officers conducting a routine raid on February 14th, 1929, four men entered a warehouse at 2122 North Clark Street used by George Bugs Moran and his gang to store liquor. The imposters lined up 6 gang members in a hanger-on against a wall, produced machine guns from under their overcoats, and opened fire. The prime suspect was Al Capone, head of Chicago's crime syndicate. So this is like real big-time gangster stuff that they referenced in this little like weird comedy, which I just thought was so weird but awesome. Moran's Northside Gang, the largest obstacle to the Capone organization's power in metropolitan Chicago, had hijacked Capone's liquor shipments, competed in protection rackets, and murdered Capone allies. Law enforcement officials could not prove any involvement by Capone, who was in Miami at the time. No one was ever tried for the killings. The raid's cold-blooded efficiency left the public in shock, and the St. Valentine's Day Massacre came to symbolize gang violence. It confirmed popular images associating Chicago with mobsters, crime, and spectacular carnage. The site of the warehouse, raised in 1967, continues to draw tourists from around the world. So it's a pretty big moment for American mobsters, for sure. It kind of changed the name of the game as far as how far these guys would be willing to go to get retribution or reparation or whatever they want to call it. We're back to the movie now. The gangster and his men see the two men fleeing the scene of carnage, try to stop them, and ultimately let them leave. After a hilarious introduction to the only way these guys can play their way to survival, they hurriedly put together a plan. The men, eager to skip town and get a gig to put food in their bellies, disguise themselves as women so they can join the Society Syncopators, a female band on their way to Miami. So Joe dresses as Josephine and Jerry dresses as Daphne. Upon their arrival, the guys meet Sugarcane, of course that's her name, played by Marilyn Monroe, the lead vocalist and ukulele player for the band. Both men become entranced by Sugar and vie for her attention and affection. Sugar informs Josephine, or Joe, she has done away with dating saxophone players due to past poor experiences. She spells out the exact type she's after: a reserved, glasses-wearing, educated rich man who owns a yacht. The two friends struggle with maintaining their womanly demeanors and refraining from hitting on Sugar. In Miami, Joe assumes the persona of Junior, a wealthy socialite who somehow matches the exact description of Sugar's ideal man. Junior turns out to be the heir to the Shell Oil Company fortune. So this is, this character that Joe is creating now. So now Joe has taken on two different personas other than his own in the film. Truly rich man Osgood Fielding III is decidedly after Daphne, only fueled more by her indifference. Fielding invites Daphne to his yacht, who is convinced to agree by Joe. Who himself is planning on taking Sugar aboard to woo her further. Aboard the yacht, Junior informs Sugar of his impotence and rigidity of personality from his psychological history, and says that I'd marry anyone that could cure me. So he's really laying it on thick here that he wants Marilyn Monroe. She doesn't see that. She sees what she wants to see. Sugar then cures him of his impotence and rigidity. Upon returning to their hotel, Jerry tells Joe of Daphne's proposal from Osgood and her acceptance of the proposal. Jerry says he can divorce the guy quick and get a heap of cash out of it. So then Joe finally sees what's really going on, that Jerry's kind of having this weird psychological reaction to what's going on and to the situation he's in. It's actually really sad. Jack Lemmon does a really good job here because you see that he himself is anxious about making his own way in life. So this is the only way he sees himself having a secure future, which is just super depressing. So the hotel the guys are staying at holds a convention for Italian opera fans, overseen by Little Bonaparte, who's another mobster. The meeting is actually for a local crime syndicate. The mobster from before, Spatz, and some of his colleagues discovered Joe and Jerry and recognized them from before. The mobsters from the very beginning are now, they're now back at this hotel, which is like so crazy because it's like you guys can't escape these mobster guys. They're everywhere. Afraid of real danger, the two friends decide they must quit the act and leave to save their skins. Having to tear Junior from Sugar, Joe, as Junior, tells her he's to marry a woman of his family's choice from South America. So this really breaks Marilyn Monroe's heart. She's very stricken by this, and you can tell, and not in an angry way, but more in just a melancholy, like sad way. The two friends then hide, avoiding the mobsters at the banquet. Little Bonaparte and his crew whack Spatz and his. Our two protagonists are, oddly enough, witness again to this new crime. Running away, Joe, as Josephine, sees Sugar singing a sad song of love lost. In a truly provocative and sweet moment of pure intoxication, Joe leaps to the stage and kisses Sugar. So it was just like, whoa. Because he's still like half dressed as Josephine, so it really throws everyone there off because they're like, whoa, what's going on here? Because it was back then when same-sex affection was not as widely accepted as it is now. This helps Sugar realize that Josephine and Junior are both actually Joe. It all kind of comes together for her in this moment. Jerry gets Osgood, Daphne's new fiancé, to smuggle Josephine and herself away. Sugar, now hypnotized by love, runs and jumps onto the yacht in a last-ditch effort to have the man of her dreams in a way. It's a very beautiful, there's a lot of very beautiful and dramatic scenes of emotional desperation, especially for a comedy film, for sure. I just wanted to add in some trivia for the film. Marilyn Monroe, I found this on IMDb, Marilyn Monroe required 47 takes to get "It's Me, Sugar" correct. 47 times. So after the 30th take, Billy Wilder had the line written on a blackboard. So it kind of was just like behind the camera, so she could read it off camera. Another scene required Monroe to rummage through some drawers and say, "Where's the bourbon?" after 40 takes of her screwing it up, Wilder pasted the correct line in one of the drawers. After Monroe became confused about which drawer contained the line, Wilder had it pasted in every drawer on the dresser that she had to open. So no matter what drawer she was going to open, she was going to have the line there. So I just thought that was crazy. That was like, wow, like they really, really worked around Marilyn Monroe in this movie, because she, no offense to people that love Marilyn Monroe, but she seemed very stupid. She seemed like a very ditzy, very lightheaded kind of person. Not that she was, you know, a bad person or anything like that, but she seemed like she was kind of a dummy, I guess. Yeah. This is one of those movies back in the 50s, like even when they made a funny movie, they still had a lot of heart, and they still had a really quality acting, well-written dialogue, just good character stuff. So it's nice to see all that still. Joe owns up to what Sugar has already realized. He says this makes him not good enough for her, but Sugar disagrees and says she wants him with or without, you know, a yacht or money. Curious as to why, because the guy who Tony Curtis plays, Joe, he has on several different occasions lied to her willingly, seemingly having no problem doing this, and yeah, he's consistently lied and taken on several different personas to be with her. So it's just like really weird to me that she's like now reciprocating that, because it's like, don't you see he's not what you thought he was? But it's a comedy. You shouldn't really take it that seriously. It's more of just a sweet moment. It's supposed to be kind of like a pure love type moment, I think. Daphne catalogs why she and Osgood cannot be together. This is still Jerry acting as Daphne. She says things like how much she smokes or how hard it could be for her to bear children, with a swift dismissal from Osgood while driving the yacht. Exhausted by the facade, Jerry rips his wig off and exclaims to Osgood, "I'm a man," for his final reason, to which our accepting and open-minded old friend replies, "Well, nobody's perfect." So that's a very classic line. That's something that I was not expecting at all, but I laughed out loud, of course. It was very funny. The scene where they go in the dressing room on the train, I'm pretty sure, and the two guys are dressed as the women, Daphne and Josephine. They are kind of anxious that they're going to get caught in this dressing room. Not anxious, but just, you know, I guess the audience feels more anxious than anything. I guess that was a real test that Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis did when they were first portraying, or first trying to get into the characters of these people. They went into the dressing room on set as the characters, and when they found, you know, when they realized that none of the women were worried about it or like realized it, then they were like, okay, we can do this. So that's pretty cool that they like worked that into the story of the movie too. But yeah, this film it's a fantastically acted and superbly written American comedy with all the earmarks and showings of a great classic film. You got great performances, you got really good cinematography. Yeah, the dialogue, like I said, is really sharp. It's really funny. There's a few moments I really wanted to touch on. There's one where the two guys are trying to get a gig, and so they're there and they see that there's a lady, what was it called? The Society Syncopators had a gig going. So they were like, oh, we can go play, you know, we can go play for them. Oh, they're an all-woman, no, what did he say? He says something like, they're all this, they're all that, and then he says, they're all women, and he's like, oh, we can do that, and then Tony Curtis is like, no, we can't. And it's just a really funny little moment towards the beginning that I thought was nice. But yeah, some really sharp comedy. This film actually marks the first time I had seen a film with Marilyn Monroe in a starring role. I think I had seen her like pop up in movies here and there, but I had never actually seen her in a role in a film, so that was really interesting. And I just wanted to say thank you again to NoobGamer family for requesting me to do this movie. I really, really enjoyed it. Does anyone else have a film they would like to request for me to review? I still have a few on a list that I have to go down and do, but you know, just let me know if you guys think of one that you'd like for me to do. But yeah, please, if you go over my channel, if you have some time, and just find your favorite video that we've done and share that with somebody, I'd really appreciate it, because we have like no views right now, so I really need to jack my views up. And plus, I'd really like to like talk to more people about movies and discuss, you know, my favorite movies, other people's favorite movies, why they're our favorite movies. So I am going to be going to Wisconsin between Christmas and New Year's, so I won't be here for a little over a week, I think. I will be vlogging that, so I will be trying to take as much footage as I can. We're going to be going on snowmobiles and all this kind of stuff. I'm from Florida, so I don't ever get to see snow, so it's really exciting for me to go do that. It's not film related, but it's kind of a cool life experience I was going to share with you guys. And finally, I wanted to announce, so Tommy J has finally come up with a program that was kind of his own idea. I started the idea, but then he came up with a name, and anyway, it's called Tommy J's Dramuary. So in January, we're going to be doing 5 to 8 drama films, probably around 6 drama films that we have not done on the channel yet. And we're just going to be dedicating January to dramatic films, drama pieces, really just well acted. And this isn't going to include like science fiction, or like if it's a gangster movie, we're going to leave gangster movies for its own thing. This isn't including, we have a few biopics, but I want to make biopics its own thing too. But yeah, they're all just drama. They're not action. They're not mixed with another genre. They're drama films. So we'll be doing that January. And yeah, so if you guys, like I said, if you have any requests you'd like me to do in the future, near future, please let me know. February, we're going to be doing Fantabuary, so it's going to be all fantasy films. We're probably going to do the Lord of the Rings trilogy then. I'm not sure, but I'd really like to. So yeah, and I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.